SMT Nation, we back. I have bad news to report here. I actually want to go over this article with you guys from the telecompetitor. Let's go through all the facts. Let's go through all the details, the actual numbers, the data, and then I'm going to give you guys my take at the very end. All right, ookla. SpaceX Starlink speed dips again. Dated November 30th, 2022, time of this recording. LEO satellite broadband operator SpaceX Starlink low Earth orbit satellites, right, LEO satellites, are now seeing speeds for their home internet connectivity dip for the second quarter in a row, according to the latest data from Ookla. Median download speed was 53 megabits per second in the US, a decrease of at least 17%, according to Ookla. The second quarter of 2022, Starlink's median download speed was 62.5 megabits, which was a decrease from the first quarter of 2022 when the company's median download speed was 90.5. All right, folks, so here's how this is trending. Q1 of 2022, average median download speed was 90 megabits. Q2, it was 62.5. Q3, it is now 53. I would guess, this is just me guessing, that we're probably going to see a Q4 where that might dip as well. All right, now this is me speculating. That's not a guarantee. Who knows? Maybe they figure something out. Maybe people start using less. I don't know, but I would assume that it's probably going to dip under 50 megabits if the trend continues. Additionally, Ookla says that the declines to Starlink's expanding consumer base, the company gets more customers, capacity gets stretched, causing speeds to decline. The company's worldwide global customer base has now hit 400,000. It's a lot of customers based on how many satellites they have in orbit. Starlink's 53 megabit per second speed should be sufficient for most subscribers' needs and will be an improvement over existing broadband options in many rural areas. About 3/4 of the U.S. counties now have at least 10 Starlink users, a big jump from roughly 25% for the same quarter a year ago. All right, now I'm going to share this with you guys here. If you look at the image on the screen, Starlink has expanded across U.S. counties. All right, so on the left, you have Q2 to Q3 2021. Compare that to Q2 to Q3 2022 in the map to the right. They clearly have grown the offer. More and more people are getting access to it. Not saying that they're willing or able to send you out, Dishy and all the gear, but it's available in these geographies. So, if this is a positive takeaway, which I think it is, it's more available than it's ever been. Among non-metro counties, 17% have at least 10 Starlink users. Now, just recently, Starlink put in a bid for an RDOF bid for some federal funding, the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund, where they can collect those dollars and, put it towards providing broadband service to underserved areas. And in that agreement, you have to reach 100 megabit per second downstream, and you have to maintain competitive pricing, right? It's got to be affordable to the people within these places. Now, Starlink tentatively won some of these funding dollars, but actually the FCC ended up rejecting it and taking it away from them. They pulled their reward to Starlink, but Jessica Rosenworcel, the FCC chairwoman, expressed concern about the cost of the service. Guys, Starlink is not cheap. Starlink is quite oftentimes more expensive than most DSL services, right? And often you look at those limitations to the speed. Is it even worth it? Now, for somebody who lives out in the middle of nowhere and doesn't have wireline options, they're probably just lucky to have something offered to them. So they might be willing and able to pay, say, for example, Starlink, I think it's gone up like at least at least once in the last year in pricing. So I think it's probably around $120 or something now. It might be more actually if it went up again. I'm not sure. But that seems to be the hang up and why they missed out on those dollars. So, we've got a couple of situations here. Number one, we've got a good thing. Starlink is more available than it's ever been. The downside to this, so the second piece is that adoption rate has led to median download speeds decreasing. It's just usage, folks. It's a finite resource of capacity coming from LEO satellites. They're going to have to densify the sky, right? Exactly what the cell networks do here on terrestrial. You know how they build monopoles, they add tower sites, they do small cells and CRAN and rooftop sites. You're basically putting up satellites to accomplish the same task. So when you look at Starlink and HughesNet and Viasat and all these providers, it's tough to do this. It's an expensive investment. This is why Starlink has to charge a lot of money, right? It's got to be worth it to them. But no doubt, average speeds are decreasing, folks, right? SpaceX Starlink across the country is slowing down. Across the globe is slowing down. Now, before, when we first started getting the data last year from Starlink, they were like competitive with like fixed wireless, they were competitive with wireline. That's really no longer the case now that they're dipping into the 50 megabit per second range. And I'm not even really sure, what that means for them when it comes to uplink. I'm guessing it's not going to be that great. Maybe it's 5, 10 megabits per second uplink average, right? It's not even mentioned in this article. I'm just assuming it might be something like that. But there's just not a lot of capacity out there. And even Starlink just recently, we reported on this before, Starlink has started to throttle power users that go over a terabyte of data, right? And in order to get high speed, once you've gone over a certain usage, you have to pay per gig. And it's expensive. I remember it was like $1 or $2 a gig or something crazy. So those overage fees are pretty fierce. And they're also encouraging users to use their more downloading and stuff, more heavy usage after 11 p.m., right, where the a lot of the traffic on the network has subsided, and most users have pulled off the network and they're sleeping, so they're going to need more satellites, folks. They're going to have to put more into orbit. Their Starlink has they have thousands up there. They're going to need more, right? They're going to have to just keep on launching hundreds and hundreds at a time if they're really going to do this right. They got to get it to more places. They got to make it more capacitive, or else what's the point of doing it? And I get it. I respect the grind. I can respect what's going on there. It truly is an amazing feat that they've been able to do this in such a short amount of time. But they do have to address the pricing. They do have to address, the supply of the gear, and I think they have to address the capacity needs too. No easy feat. They got their hands full over at SpaceX Starlink. This is not easy. What do you guys think of these numbers? What do you think of the performance so far? You got concerns? Do you guys think this just comes with the territory? Do you guys think they figure things out? Love to hear what you have to say on this. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links are in the description for this article, as well as my Patreon, my member invite. If you guys want to support us there in those channels, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much for your considerations. My Gmail address is there. My Twitter handle is there. And I'll leave you with some words of positivity here as we head out. Every new day is an opportunity to be great. Go out there and be great. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.